right. So Laura Owens comes out with this article. I'm enjoying my weekend, and this article comes out. And it's a letter to the JFC Colts. I'm assuming that she now includes me as a JFC Colts person. The very last paragraph of her letter felt like it was addressed to me. So listen, Laura, she had reached out to me. She reached out to me in the hopes to get in front of whatever it was that I was going to say. And for the last month or so, I've been diving into the evidence, and I've offered my take, and I've given fair time to both sides. I've had specific questions to her and her attorneys, and they gave me specific answers. And I feel like maybe I should go back into those emails and see specifically what she had emailed me prior. She says, let's set the scene. Imagine you're excited about diving into real estate investing. You've spent a year studying Pace Morby's methods, finally building up confidence to invest, and you reach out to an agency you find on Instagram that specializes in seller financing, not to work with any specific person, but because they understand your goals. You don't hear back for a month. You still haven't found a realtor to do this with. Then you're scrolling around and you find one. Then you see that someone named Clayton Eckert is tagged with the company you reached out to a few weeks prior. You check at his LinkedIn and decide to send him a message to see if he can help. He writes back and says he can. We had a long call. Clayton seemed like a perfect fit for an agent. He grasps. Who cares? So she goes on to say, now imagine trusting him with 1.1 million in offers. She makes the argument to say that he's a bad real estate investment person. Fine. She gives us a timeline that's wholly irrelevant. She's trying to attack the credibility of Clayton Eckert in the court of public opinion, because none of this was altogether relevant at the trial, was it? It wasn't a trial exhibit because it was irrelevant to the issues at hand. If you want to say it goes to credibility, they never introduced that as evidence. I don't know if they tried to introduce it as evidence, but they're introducing it here specifically to appeal to the public at large, to convince you all that, hey, I'm a liar, but so is Clayton Eckert. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. But he's not the one that's been accused of faking a pregnancy, is he? He was not tasked with the responsibility of proving that you had a reasonable basis to indicate to the courts in Maricopa County, Arizona, that you were pregnant. He was not accused of trying to emotionally extort a relationship out of somebody through threat of having a set of twins that you never showed the court any evidence you actually thought you were pregnant with. And so this real estate stuff, he may or may not have been responsible for some form of professional malpractice. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. That is for another court and for another day. But for the issues that people were so upset about and so pulled into with this case, it has nothing to do with the issues that everybody is talking about. So you want to talk about the real estate stuff? Fine. It's not making it into your appeal, is it? It didn't make its way into the trial. Sure didn't. You harp on this timeline, May 25th. According to what Clayton made me sign, the offers have officially expired. Meanwhile, he hasn't responded to my messages asking if they were accepted. You're growing anxious. And then you go on here, some text message exchanges. I'm on May 26th. I texted him, asked him to explain why the John hadn't received offer. I said, can you explain what he's talking about? You never sent in the offer. You said you did. No response. May 26th, you're frustrated, desperate for answers. You text Clayton again, and he gives you some kind of response or a non-response. On May 26th, you forwarded an email from John, the seller's agent, to Clayton, writing, Clayton, connecting you with John, who just sent me this. Can you please confirm you saw this? We need to get moving on this as I would like to proceed with the purchase. Silence. Okay. So if he's guilty of all those things, it just makes him a bad business person, a bad realtor. Let's just assume that all of the things that you're saying about him are true, that he dealt with you unfairly in business. That's not the same thing as what you did. These are separate crimes. He did one here, if he did it at all, and I have no reason to look, I haven't looked into that at all. I have no reason to misbelieve what you're stating other than your history of mistruths in this case. I get that you want me to see that he is not honest Abe, like you have suggested. I get that. That's fine. You say, imagine this was your money, your new venture, no updates, no communication, no idea if you've just bought properties worth over $1 million. You'd all be fine with this, right? Nobody's arguing that at all, Laura. Nobody. And she says, cue the JFC crew furiously racking their brains, trying to come up with reasons why I was wrong and Clayton was right. That is not Laura Owens, man. That is David Gingras all the way. There's no way that Laura Owens wrote that. Not the Laura Owens that I spoke to through email. And if it is, then damn it, I guess your writing style has significantly changed. And, I'm not to harp on that. I just suspect that this may not have been 100% authored by Laura. I suspect it may have been heavily influenced by her current counsel. And if I'm wrong, fine. The problem with that is David Gingras does not understand basic law. I've been flabbergasted at some of his legal arguments that he's made in this case. Even ignoring the 911 call and the witness intimidation, whom of course he's deflecting 100% on that, stating that Arizona has no ability to prosecute perjury or whatever nonsense he was saying. I understand why she thinks that it is a legal negotiation. Oh, that scared the shit out of me, Dominic. Why is your sound effect so loud? All right. What's up, Brad?
How you
doing? Dominic just scared the shit out of me with the whatever kind of, because it makes some money. No, because it's the easiest thing to jump up on YouTube and explain all of the errors in law that your attorney is promoting out there and is tricking you with and taking your money.
You don't want to write a Medium article about it?
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. It scared the shit out of me.
Yo, I've been here for like a minute.
Dominic could have said something, man. He's supposed to play a sound.
Sorry, he didn't want to be too loud like he was when Brad came in with the sound.
I got to give Dominic a lot of credit, man. I give him instructions and then he does what I ask, and I got something else to say about it. I titled this "It's Time to Leave Laura Alone" because I feel like, look, she's engaging in these articles back and forth. Every time she posts something, we run and we read what she says and we start opining on it. And then, she's over here lurking in the background and she's hearing all of this and it's setting her off. And at this point, I feel like it's a little bit like kicking a horse while it's down.
I disagree, man. I don't think she's down. I think she's doing what she's done her entire life, which is if she, throws this tantrum and tries to get people to feel bad for her, people will overlook her behavior and look the other way. So
it's funny you say that, Lauren, because I was listening to your stream the other day. I think it was on Saturday or Sunday. And at first, when I read this initial article, I was really angry. Mm-hmm. My Discord that Dominic had just created, I was really angry. I had a lot of thoughts. But then you had mentioned something, that kind of calmed me down, just kind of explaining her mindset or psyche. And she may very well be doing what you're suggesting, getting people to try to overlook her behavior. I just don't think that it's hitting the mark. I don't think it's effective. And so when I say that it's like kicking a horse while they're down with her, it's like everybody's kind of moving on. I feel like I feel like the cultural zeitgeist is moving on from this case and she's still wallowing in defeat and, listening to Gingras in her ear, selling her hopes and dreams about this appeal that's not going to happen. She's got the district attorney over there breathing down her neck. And you got Gingras over there trying to convince her that, they can't get you for perjury in Arizona or whatever nonsense he's trying to.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what? I'm going to leave her alone. There's nothing more that I could say that's going to help the matter.
Yeah. No, I support that. I mean, I'm going to take a different stance, but obviously, I respect that totally. I get that. But for me, just having been in a position where I was abused by someone in a position of power that was, and I was very scared about that and felt like I was alone. I don't think that just from where I stand, if she continues to make these accusations, put out pictures that are misleading, I am going to speak out and say, this is why that's wrong. This is why this doesn't make sense. This is why that doesn't add up. You won't hear me go and talk about how she looks or anything about her personal life. You probably won't even hear me talk about her family. But just from my standpoint, as long as she continues to slander these guys, like I'm gonna say, hey, this is what you left out. This is why that doesn't make sense. So